Do you want to pray us in quickly? You want me to do it?
Say what?
Did you want to pray us in quickly? You want me to do it?
Oh, pray us in. I don't know. You got something for us, Tisha?
No, I would love for you, Amina, to bring us in prayer.
Okay, let's go ahead, Amina. Bring us in.
All right. Big Creator, Universe, Spirit, Allah, God, and all that there is. I thank you for the blessing of this day, and I thank you for preparing Bradley for this moment. I thank you for the vessels that are chosen to be with us here, to celebrate, to acknowledge, and to stand in power with this incredible book creation. I thank you for choosing Bradley to be your open channel, to be your message and messenger. I thank you for all the people and all the lives that will be transformed, impacted, and changed because of the words of this book. I thank you for the blessings, for the abundance, for every transformation, for every heart that you heal, and for every person who's able to hear these words. I ask that you continue to guide us on this path of self-discovery, self-transformation, and allow us all to unite and stand for this wonderful celebration of Bradley's book launch, The Iron Armor Paradox. I ask that you bless him from the top of his head to the tip of his toes, and that you speak through each and every one of us today as your open channel. Amen.
Amen.
Amazing. Let's go.
Oh, right there.
All right.
明天我们要做什么？是几点？明天几点？4点半，已经到了吗？就那边就那个天台。
Good morning, good afternoon, and thank you to each and every one of you for joining us today in the virtual space to celebrate Bradley's book launch, The Iron Armor Paradox. I am so blessed and I'm so excited to host today and to just stand in power with each and every one of you as we go through this journey. Feel free to show your cameras, be in the space with us, be present, and know that this book is really going to change so many lives. So I want to start with gratitude and say thank you for sharing your time with us. It is very precious. And I know, we are international. I'm here in the UK. It's about 3 p.m. I know Tina's in another side of the world. We got Bradley in the US. And I'm sure there's so many more of us who've actually been impacted and influenced by Bradley, by his message. And now today we're here to celebrate his book. So I want to ask each and every one of you to make sure you get your copy. We have a promotional offer today. It's only $299, and this is just really as a gift of gratitude to say, actually, this is the birth of a new chapter, of a new era. And as we celebrate the Iron Armor Paradox, we know that there are going to be so many people who, when they finish reading the pages of this book, they're not only going to be blessed and excited and have this new enjoyment of life, but they're going to really be able to let go of old chains, of limiting beliefs, and actually move into this new world of freedom. And what are we all really seeking but, true freedom, whether it's time freedom, money freedom, we're all looking and seeking for higher. So I want to thank you and celebrate each and every one of you, and really get into the conversation of the Iron Armor Paradox. Bradley, welcome. Just want to acknowledge, author.
Thank you, Amina, so much. Thank you. I appreciate you. And thank everybody for showing up today. Looking forward to this, and I'm excited, man. Let's go.
Yes. This is history in the making. If you're in this space, you are definitely part of history in the making. I've been able to walk this journey with Bradley in, helping him to co-create this book, to write this book, but now to actually, send it out to the world and really let it be received by the people who need it most. And if you're here in this space, it means that you've definitely had an impact or been inspired by Bradley. So thank you. And I just want to acknowledge, this space, that, it is a sacred space. We are recording just for the purposes of history and for the purpose of social media, but just know that this is a sacred space and we're here to just share and celebrate. So I want to invite our first speaker of the day. We have the wonderful Tisha Chung Smith, who is Bradley's friend and colleague. She is the founder of Hey Gorgeous International LLC and co-founder of DTP Event Planning and Entertainment. She is someone who doesn't need any further introduction. As you can already tell, she's a powerhouse. She's the lady in red, honey, okay? Lady in red, okay? She came to celebrate, and you can already tell she's ignited. Her spirit is already ignited. So I am so excited to hear from you, Queen. I'm so blessed, and I really want to thank you for being here. Again, how you do anything is how you do everything, right? Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. So thank you, and please take the stage.
Well, thank you, Amina, you beautiful soul, sister queen. I'm just gonna jump into it because we're all here to celebrate our friend, right? And we are very proud of this day, his accomplishments, and I am eternally grateful the fact that he wanted me to be a part of this, to speak on his behalf, which I'm very honored to do. So I've had the honor and pleasure of knowing Mr. Bradley A. Martin for about 6 years now. We first met in Shenzhen, China. We were teachers at different schools, and eventually we started working at the same school. Some of the stories that Brad would share with me about his young students were hilarious. He had an award system for good behavior. So Mr. Brad would give his students candy. And one time he told me about when his students snuck into his office and hid under his desk looking for his candy, and he caught them. And I guess the way in which he dealt with that situation, he didn't reprimand them, but he turned it like into a lesson. And I think from that story, and then when he evolved into like going from primary school, evolving into high school, I could always see how his students have always loved and admired him. And it's because of his caring spirit. It's because that he's a listener and he is present when they talk. And he offers advice, a very sound advice. And he does that for not only his students, but for all of his friends, all of his clients. And I think that's what makes him such an amazing coach. We've had similar Chinese teaching stories. As people of color growing up in certain environments, there's an importance of leaving what we feel is our comfort zone and experiencing what the world has to offer. The vessels we use in this case was education. But in turn, we were educating ourselves. We were and continue to learn the lessons in this journey called life. And I think that's why I'm so proud of you, Bradley, because you impart the lessons that you've learned with our community and with others as well. I've had the chance to witness your journey that has brought you here today with launching this book and all of the other projects you've launched, your successes and the lessons, the things that we've collaborated on and the things I've helped and I've loved supporting you in. I think that you have a brilliant mind and you're continuing on this wonderful path of greatness. I know I speak for many of us when we say we're excited to see what's next. Just to name his most recent accolades, he's now an NLP practitioner and coach, timeline therapy, and he's a hypnotherapist. So, he can get into your minds deeper than we want sometimes. So I would just like to reiterate the pride that we all share in this, the love that we all have for you. That's why we're showing up, supporting. And to see one of our own doing something like this, I think that's just, it adds more to everything, especially because of the circumstances you grew up in and some of the people you've grown up with and maybe had to have grown apart from because they don't necessarily share your vision or your journey, unfortunately. But I love the fact that that you take pride in everything you do, you take care in everything you do, and it comes out in everything you do because it's sincere and has always been sincere. You've always been a truthful person. You've always been a mindful person. You've always been and I've watched you grow in your spirituality. And just to see at this age what you're doing in 10, 15, 20 years, where you'll be and continue to grow, I can't wait. And I'm very excited. I'm very honored once again to speak on your behalf and introduce you. I'm very honored to have been a part of your circle. I consider you a very good friend, and I'm just here for it. I'm here for it all. Thank you.
Wow, wow, wow. Thank you so much, Queen. Wow. I knew you said, Bradley, you had some powerful speakers in the house, but you really, you didn't have to do me like that. Like, I wasn't even ready. There was so much wisdom that you just shared, Queen. And I just want to touch on a few things. You said about his brilliant mind, you said about his sincerity, and you also said about imparting lessons. And I want us all just to think about what has been a moment in your life where you've had to actually just stop and take a pause and say, actually, what is the lesson that I'm learning? Right? We've all been hit by life, right? And walking this journey with Bradley, he's told me so many different layers of his truth, so many different aspects of his vulnerability. And let me be real, sometimes I was like, Bradley, I would have hit the floor and not come back up. Okay, not come back up. But this man is a testament, right? He's a testament of what it takes when you have that warrior spirit. And I want you all to put down in the chat box, warrior spirit. Okay, because it takes a little bit extra. It takes a little bit more, and it takes you understanding that you have a warrior spirit within each and every one of you to know that every time you do get hit, you have that choice, right? You get to react or respond. What is the lesson that I'm learning? If I respond, whoa, I'm going back into my old thinking. I'm going back into my old cycle. I'm not allowing my brilliant mind to show up, right? But when I use that response, and I choose the narrative, you get to activate your warrior spirit, your warrior DNA, and you get to come to this new level of awareness that Bradley has been able to come into and say, actually, I'm going to take off my iron armor. I'm going to look a little bit deeper, and I'm going to actually try to understand what is showing up in this space. So thank you, Queen, for just starting that fire. Like, wow, I am so, so grateful. There's so much wisdom that you've been able to just share in that short amount of time. And we are in the virtual space, but I can feel the heat in this room. I'm someone who gets excited. I get inspired, right? Amina inspires. We don't do things halfway, right? We got to do all the way through. So I just want to thank you, and truly from my heart to yours, to acknowledge, like you said, it's incredible to see this is where he's at this stage. And it's about the community. It's about the impact. You might just think, okay, he's just written a book. But hey, this is not just a book. This is a movement. This is a beginning, right? There's so much more installed. And if you know Bradley, he moves in quantum leaps. He'll get an idea, and by tomorrow it's halfway done. I'm not kidding you guys. But that is what happens when you really tap into your genius, when you understand what your iron armor is and how to actually navigate it instead of using it as a roadblock to your success. So thank you so, so much. That was just amazing. Our second speaker today is someone who will be joining us virtually. She's recorded a video for us. Her name is Gulsha Khan, and she is a business consultant with heart. She's someone who's extremely passionate about human connections. Her expertise is in communication, leadership, business development, and resilience building. Wow. Which has made her a much sought after consultant for corporates, business owners, and entrepreneurs. Her biggest motivation is impacting and inspiring more lives. And you can already tell just from her accolades and from the desirable woman that she is someone who is very similar to Bradley in that when they have a vision and they have a mission, they're able to just project and see where they're truly going. So I'm so excited to be able to present this to you all. I'm just going to do a quick check. I know we have some new friends in the room, so welcome everyone. If you could just mute your mic, I would be so grateful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I will bring up our next speaker who'll be joining us virtually.
My dear Bradley, first of all, congratulations on your book launch. You are phenomenal. And I'm so happy for you. You have created something in an incredibly short amount of time, and you put all the work and all the effort into making it happen. And there you go. This is your achievement, and it's a milestone, and it's really time to celebrate yourself. And I'm here to cheer you on in this journey, and I will continue to do so. You are incredibly talented and gifted. I know people love to work with you, and they're very happy to be able to work with you, and you have so much potential, and you are already changing people's lives and making all the difference in the world. And I'm seeing this and I'm witnessing this, and it really makes me so happy. Cheers to you, Bradley. And thank you for inviting me to your book launch. I wish I could be there with you, but I hope we will have time to celebrate once you're back in China. Again, thanks for inviting me, and I really feel honored to be here. So, hi everyone. This is the part where I introduce myself. My name is Gülscha, and I am from Germany. I'm living in China since 2016. And the big picture of what I do is I work as a business consultant and developer, and I help companies or entrepreneurs building conscious business models with the emphasis on the human factor. As you know, AI is taking over the world, but we're still humans, and we need humans in our businesses to really make sure and to ensure that we design a more sustainable and ecological future. So one part of my work focuses on the strategic management and the developmental part of my business, and where we help develop strategies, or we help implement a corporate culture, or as well as emotional well-being in workplaces. And the other part is by specializing on personal and professional development for individuals and corporates, by simply providing them trainings and certification programs for coaching, for business and executive coaching, or leadership and communication programs and such. So in my trainings, I use different modalities such as the hard math technology, but I also use NLP, which stands for neuro-linguistic programming. So now is the point where you should be asking, what is NLP? I never heard of that. What is that? And so I'm also mentioning this here because if you read Bradley's book, you will read about NLP as well. So again, NLP is basically a user's manual for the brain. It's about neuro. The N stands for neuro. So everything what's going on in your brain, how we are encoding our environment and our experiences. And it's about the language that we're using, how we are communicating to ourselves and to others, and how we are reprogramming our brain, our mind, to be more successful. And we also talk a lot about the unconscious mind in NLP. So there is the conscious mind and the unconscious mind, and how we can unleash the potential that is lying dormant within us. Because the problem is that we're not aware of what we are unconscious about, right? So we are not being aware of what we are unconscious about, and life would be so much easier if we were. And NLP has some amazing tools and techniques to create the connection between your unconscious and your conscious mind. So one of the most important things we talk about in NLP is limiting beliefs. And why is it important to know about that? Because our limiting beliefs, they are deeply rooted in our unconscious mind. And that's why they're holding us back from whatever we want to achieve. So for example, have you ever set yourself a goal and then you said to yourself, yes, I'm going to achieve it. I'm going to go get that goal and I'll do whatever it takes. And then what happens is, did you achieve it or not? Well, I know in my life, I have set many, many goals, and many, many goals I have not achieved. So did this ever happen to you? Maybe even more than once. So this is exactly what I'm talking about. And this is why this happens. Why do we not achieve the goals that we want to achieve? Well, because we have those limiting beliefs within ourselves. We're telling ourselves, oh, I can't do that. Or this goal is too big. Or you tell yourself, this is not for people like me. Or maybe you tell yourself, I'll never have the perfect relationship. I'll never find the right boyfriend. I'll never find the perfect girlfriend. Or you tell yourself, I'm not good enough. Or you keep telling yourself, I'm too young to be successful. And then after a while, you notice that you're getting older, and then you start telling yourself, I'm too old to be successful. So there's constantly the belief around yourself, the perception about yourself that something that is always standing between you and the goal you want to achieve. Or you tell yourself, I don't have enough experience, or I don't know anyone who could support me in this, or I don't know people who I could sell my product to. So, but what if all these limitations, what if maybe that's only in your mind? And where do these limitations come from? Well, have a guess. It could be from your upbringing. Of course, it's your parents' fault. Of course. Or I'm just kidding. So, or it could be from a past negative experience, right? Something that happened in the past where maybe you were trying to achieve something and then you failed, but then you said, oh, I'm a failure. And you adopted that belief back then, telling yourself over and over again that you are a failure and you will never be able to win your life. Or it could also because you're comparing yourself to others. This is what we do all the time, right? We're constantly comparing ourselves to others. We don't even know their backgrounds. We don't know anything about the person. Everything we see is the success that we see and the person who we are. And then we compare ourselves. And then we say things like, I will never be like him. Or I will never be like her. Look at what she has achieved. Or look at what he has done. Or maybe you say, oh, he was just lucky. You might think, right? Or no, his parents supported him all the way. I don't have parents like that. So, well, again, maybe that's only something in your mind. So another reason could be also a fear of rejection or fear of losing, fear of failure, or fear of being successful. So people have all sorts of fears. And just imagine being able to achieve all the goals that you thought it would be impossible. And what if I tell you there is a way, and that way is called NLP. Remember those 3 letters. So in NLP, we have different tools and techniques to remove these limiting beliefs once and for all. And we remove it so that that the new learning that you get, it gets integrated in your unconscious mind and in your conscious mind. So, and it's essential for you in order for you to live the life where you discover your unlimited power within, that true potential, the life force energy that is within you. It's all about that, by removing these limitations within you. And now, here's my recommendation for you. Make sure you get a copy of Bradley's book. Why? Because Bradley told me that he's talking about limiting beliefs in his book. So that's why you must have Bradley's book. Now go grab a copy and enjoy reading Bradley's book. I'm so looking forward to reading his book as well. Bradley, make sure to send me a copy. And I'm sending you all my love. Everything you did so far, you did amazingly well. I'm cheering you on in this journey, as I said, and you just keep going. You are amazing. You are incredible. And I'm looking forward to have you back in China and to congratulate you in person. So take care, and I wish you all an amazing day. Bye.
Wow, wow, wow. That was powerful. I mean, is it just me, or is Bradley surrounded by powerful, successful people? Your network is your net worth. So if you look at the 5 people you spend the most time with, those are the people who are going to influence and impact your mental environment. And what I loved about what Gulsha was saying was that this is not something that Bradley just thought about, right? There's some things you can think about and there's some things you can bring about, but he didn't just think about this topic. He invested his time, his effort, his energy into studying, right? He studied NLP. And what does she say? This is neuro-linguistic programming, the science of mind and behavior. Why do you do the things that you do, right? Who's ever felt stuck? Right? Who's ever just felt stuck? Just raise your hand. Let's not be shy in the room now. Come on now. Who's ever felt stuck? Like, why do I keep knocking into the same wall? Like, I know there's a block here, but it's having that awareness to say, I know that there's this block here. I want to change. And it's about choosing something different. Wayne Dyer says, when you change the way you look at things, what you look at changes. What you look at changes. And what we're here to do is to change the program. And I want you to put that into the chat box, and only if you mean it. Because when you start putting out that energy, when you start pouring out that vibration, you will attract from a different point. So only the brave, okay? Don't everybody run, but only the brave to say, I'm changing my program. Because this is what this book is going to do. It's not only going to excite and activate the genius within you, but it's going to help you change that program. It's going to help you to dismantle that iron armor that you have within you. To say, actually, I'm not going to just be average anymore. I'm going to choose to be extraordinary. And when I step into that energy, when I step and make a decision from that point, I know that my armor is not going to just harm me. It's here to heal me. And that is what this book is all about. If you haven't already got your copy, I mean, I don't know what you're waiting for. Like, I really don't know what we're doing, guys, okay? Because you don't need just a copy for you. You need a copy for a friend. Okay, Roger, come on, Roger, come through with the screen. Yes, Mr. Roger, thank you, sir. That's what you call a real friend. Thank you. Because we're out here to support one another, right? There's no competition. This is co-creation. As one rises, Bradley, in this moment today on his launch, we're here to celebrate and say, actually, this is a moment to say, okay, Jasmine, she got her copy too. Come on now, guys, let's not be shy. And I want you to just pause. And this is something that Bradley taught me. Okay, yes, even the coach is learning. I'm always a serious student too, okay? And I just want everyone just to take a breath. Just to take one sacred breath, intentional breath. Whatever happened today, wherever you've been, take a deep breath and just hold it in through your mouth. Hold 1, 2, 3, and just exhale. Let it out. Anything that is no longer serving you. And sometimes you might want to do that a couple of times a day. But the power of that sacred breath, wow. Like, I used to breathe a lot all the time before Bradley, right? But now, having that intentional sacred breath, it's about coming into the present moment. It's about recognizing, okay, this is a sacred breath. I get to regroup. I get to ground myself. And knowing, actually, breath is life. Breath is really life. And the deeper the breath, the longer the life. So I'm sure you know about meditation and being mindful. But even just taking 3 sacred breaths, which you can read about in Bradley's book, okay, the Iron Armor Paradox, just putting that one out there for everyone. But taking that 3 sacred breaths can completely change the neurological pathways in your brain. Like, how powerful is that? How powerful is that, that we have the choice, right? We have the power to be able to do that. Whew, sorry, I get so excited. I get so carried away because I read this book cover to cover, right? I not only read it, we created it. I'm Bradley's publisher, if I didn't say so myself. You know, I'd be getting all the way excited about things. But I've read this book. I've seen what has been poured into it. I've understood the science that Bradley has, you know, had to study and go through the training, everything. And I truly, truly know that this book is not just about, oh, let me just tick another thing off my checklist and get that done. But this book has a heart and it has a message. And this message is really about the empowerment of all. Yes, we're here to celebrate Bradley. Well done. You are and you will be a #1 international best-selling author. But more than that, this is a movement to say each and every one of us get to rise. We rise together. So I just want to say thank you. And I love that sacred breath. If you don't know, you need to buy the book, because then you will get to know, right? You will get to know. And I am so excited, right? We have another, we are just spoiling you today, right? Who is enjoying these speakers? I just want you to put a yes in the chat box. Even if you got one little message today, just a little yes, just to see where the energy's at. I want to feel everyone. Okay, Tina, come on with all the yeses. Yes. Yes. Okay, thank you. Oh, yes. We are family in this room. Thank you. Okay, our third speaker is someone who has walked this journey with Bradley as well. Tino Carter. He is a social entrepreneur, an IB educator, tech consultant, and founder of Zocentive, the first wellness lifestyle app in China that helps users create daily healthy habits while connecting to wellness brands. Man, no wonder you're gonna be successful, Bradley. Now you got people like that in your life. Hold up, Mr. Tino. I might have to talk to you later. Hello. Welcome, King. How are you?
I'm doing great. Wow. It just I don't even know where to start, man. I just want to tell everyone this is a moment. It is a moment. And I want you guys to know that, because it takes courage to do what actually Bradley did. And a lot of people have thought, yeah, I want to do it, but it takes courage to do it. So before I actually start, I want everyone to actually close their eyes. We're going to take a minute for gratitude. It's really important because there's a lot of stuff in our life, a lot of things happening to us. We're not even grateful for that. So let's take 1 minute. You can close your eyes. Think about a lot of stuff that's happening in your life right now. We got friends around you. We got family. We got food on the table. We gotta be grateful for that. We always traveling. You have support. You got work. We got knowledge. We here right now and we breathe in. Let's be grateful for that. We're not sick. You're not in the hospital right now. We're here right now to celebrate our dear friend, brother. Let's be grateful for that. And finally, I want you to thank yourself. Be grateful for who you are and be grateful for where you're going. Thank you. All right, welcome back, everyone. This is good, man, brother. I'm not excited. I'm not, because I know you're gonna do it anyway. I was just waiting for you to do it. Yeah, I'm not. Um, I'm glad you guys talking about friendship because I've been in China for like 7 to 8 years, and I mean, now I have, but 6, 7 years ago, I don't have friends. And my girlfriend's always like, why don't you have friends? And then I ask her a question. I'm like, what do you call friend? What's the definition of friend? Is it because we party sometime? Or we work in the same place? Is that what we call friend? And I always travel, meet a lot of people. And I was actually holding a silent disco yoga. And honestly, I wasn't expecting any dude at all, just ladies. And as this dude in the back with dreadlocks doing all those breathing exercises, I'm like, okay, who's that? And that's my boy, man, over there. So he came, we talked, but people talk all the time because they're excited, they always want to talk a lot of stuff. But then I want to see how people react. And I don't know, Bright, if you remember, the next day you and I, first time we got to talk was close to 2 hours straight. It was just happening, bam, 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 like that. And after that, we are like, yo, let's make this happen. And I love the fact that, every time Bradley's talking about something, he's always thinking about all aspects. Because we always talk about the wheel of wellness. It's all about mind, body, soul, everything combined together. Because I know he does fitness, but it's not just about the body. It's the whole thing. If you're stressed out, you can't really hit the gym. It's the whole thing. And that's actually what I learned from him. I'm like, yeah, this is who I want to call a friend. Because we sharing the same thing. When I'm down, he's there for me. And he's always walking the talk. So again, I'm not excited. I was just waiting for you to do it. Here we are, you did it. So welcome to the club. You always walking the talk. So proud of you, brother. Really. So people always talk, but they don't act. People always say stuff, but they don't show it. They always make promises, but they don't fulfill it. And what you're doing right now is a promise fulfilled. And I know you're not writing this book because you just want to write a book. This is a real life experience. Because I remember from day one when you were telling me, like, I'm going to do this. I'm like, yeah, I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting. And it's coming from your heart, from life experiences. And I want to ask everyone one question. What's one thing in life that's certain? Anybody know what's that? One thing in life that's certain. Anybody know what is it? Thank you. It's death. I ain't here to scare you, but it's death. We only got one shot. So it don't matter how long I live, what matters is how I live. And when we talk about life, take your heartbeat. It always go like this. When we come to, then that's death. Meaning A, you can't always be happy. You can't always be sad. It's all about experiences. And in Chinese, always talk about yin and yang, balance. One day, you got daytime, you got nighttime. It makes one. Yeah, I got sex, you enjoy it, you suffer for 9 months, you carry that baby, it's the same part. So life is all about growth. And this book Bradley is putting right here is a lesson for us. I want to tell you to go read it because what if what I'm saying is touching your heart and you know that tomorrow you're smiling, tomorrow is going to be a challenge, go take that book and read it. I ain't trying to scare you, but it's happening anyway. And being a man and living a fulfilled life is about being ready for the next step. So Bradley, I really want to thank you for showing us the way because we've been waiting for you to tell us what to do. Now we have the answer. So thank you, brother. Thank you so much. And I'm waiting for you because you're coming back. We're gonna do a relaunch of that book on my rooftop. So be sure for that. It's happening. I know it's hard right now, but it is happening. We're gonna do that. And I want to thank everyone right here because it takes courage to give support. I know people always say, yeah, I like you, but how do you like me? How do you show me your support? This is a moment, and I can see the love right here. T-shirt is there. I can see Jasmine smiling over there. Deshaun, everyone, and I want to thank everyone. Thank you all for being here for Bradley. Thanks so much, because this is a moment. It is a moment, and I can't wait to see the next one, and the next one, the next one, because I know it's happening. It is happening. To end this, I'm going to say, wherever you're going, there's always good and bad. What matters is you. Are you taking that path and walking? Are you actually doing that? Because yeah, I'm like, if I take us, like in China, they always say, oh, Black people, it's hard. No, I don't care, because I came here to do what I came for, and I'm gonna do it. Either you there or you're not there, I know I'm gonna do it anyway. And Bradley's, that's exactly what you're doing. And a lot of people came, they couldn't do it. And you have that vision, and now you walk in the talk. So welcome to the crowd, brother. Thanks so much. I really appreciate you. I really appreciate you. What you're doing, this is actually inspiration for me to actually do more, because I'm thinking about my book too now. You see what you're doing, man? So thanks, everyone. Love you all. Stay blessed. And remember, there's always light. It's always coming, definitely. Be blessed, stay safe. I'm actually going to buy 10 books right now because I'm going to share with my community, and I know everyone needs it. I don't need it just for me, but I'm going to share with everyone. And if you come back, well, we're going to that rooftop. All right. Thanks, everyone. Thanks so much. I love you all. Send you some love. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Wow. Tina, thank you. Wow. I just want to thank you so much. That was so powerful. You went in deep. You went in with the fire, and you really took us to our heart center. So I want to thank you for that. And I also want to thank you for opening yourself up to receive. You're talking about something, a principle in the book that came to my mind about when Bradley was traveling to South Africa, and he heard this mantra, Ubuntu, I am because you are. This brotherhood, this fellowship, this friendship, it's rich, right? We're all interconnected. We are all one. And I love to see, brothers or sisters, whatever it is, but this co-creation of celebrating each other from a higher space, saying, actually, because you've done this, you've inspired me to do this. Now I can use this tool, I can use this book to change other lives. It's a domino effect. And even as you were speaking, I saw Roger put something into the chat box. It's shining a light into the darkness so we can see and act. Can you see the power of being in a circle like this, where we're all able to spark our own creativities, but to sit in this sacred space and say, actually, I can see your light. I am because you are. It's such a powerful principle, and it's one that Bradley talks so highly about in the book. I'm going to share all the links again in the chat box. But Tino, I want to thank you. I want to celebrate you, brother. And I want to recognize, you also as that open vessel to say thank you for choosing higher over comfort. It takes a little bit more. And, you spoke about courage. And courage comes from, the Latin word decor, which means from the heart. So I can see that you're definitely a heart-centered person. So I know, listen up, guys. It is very late. It's very late for Tina. Okay, it's like, I don't know, almost 11 p.m., right?
Easier.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. See, but this is what happens when you're in a circle of other like-minded individuals, when you're willing to do whatever it takes to support, to show up, and to actually be authentic. So I want to thank you, I want to celebrate you, and just, yeah, thank you so, so much.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Tino. Wow. I just want you guys to light up the chat box for the speakers that we've had so far, for everyone who's poured into us, right? You all thought you're just going to come here and celebrate Bradley, but hey, we all had a moment to be poured into. We all had a moment where, you know, someone said something and we thought, wow, that I didn't know that about myself. And what's happening right now, right here, is each and every one of you is being activated. You're being chosen, right? You're not here by mistake. Oh, no. Bradley could have invited everyone or anyone, but you decided, right? With God, with source, with spirit, whoever you believe is your truth, right? To say, actually, I'm choosing higher over comfort. And as you're doing that, you're unlocking, you're unraveling your own iron armor. And this is the power of creation, where we're able to support each other in this journey. And I know this is someone now you've all been waiting to hear from, okay? Someone that, you know, okay, let me just block that spirit of the enemy. Okay, hold up. Someone that, thank you, Tasha, said, what a wonderful space to be in. Absolutely, absolutely. Someone that needs no introduction, but I will give him his flowers, right? Please drop some love, drop some hearts into the chat box for Bradley Martin, our author, our visionary, our open channel for the divine, someone who's impacted each and every one of us in this virtual space. He impacts children in his, you know, educating role. He impacts, you know, young people in his retreats. There's so much that he does for others. And it's easy for it to go unnoticed because sometimes you can be in the doing. But Bradley is someone who has, he's always overcome challenges. He's always immersed himself in just going through this journey of personal growth and self-discovery, and realizing that, you know, it doesn't matter where you come from, you know, growing up in America with the violence, but knowing that actually you get to decide, who am I going to become? And as he traveled to South Africa, he uncovered his purpose. He uncovered this whole new world of insight and exploration. And he realized that he had a higher calling. And as he started to, you know, follow the whispers, you know, sometimes we know something, but we don't really follow it, right? Who's been there before, where you've heard something in your heart, that intuition, it's just getting louder, your gut is feeling something, and then you don't do it, or you do it and you realize it's exactly what you needed in that moment. Well, that's exactly what Bradley did. He tapped into his higher mental faculties of intuition and, you know, moved to China. And as he did the work, not just, you know, reading about it, but being immersed in it, you know, you've seen him do the cold plunges, you've seen him do all the breath work classes, but he plunged and he delved deeper every single time, just uncovering his old patterns, his limiting beliefs, but always coming back to this place of personal growth and empowerment. You know, he is the esteemed author of the Iron Armor Paradox, you know, the book that we're here to celebrate today. And in this book, he's going to guide you through his own journey to success and how he understood and navigated mental blocks and limiting beliefs and, you know, all the chatter, the mental noise that we can sometimes get into. And with his expertise in health sciences, mindfulness, NLP, breath work, he decided to step into his purpose, to say, I'm going to live full and die empty, to know that actually there's a higher calling on my life and that I'm going to step with purpose. So I want to thank you, Bradley Martin. Welcome, King. Come drop some. Don't give him his flowers later. He's alive now. Come on now. Welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Amina. Oh man, God, thank you everybody. Thank you, Tino. Thank you, Tees, Bushu. Thank you everybody for being here. Oh man, I'm excited and I really appreciate you guys. I'm so grateful for you guys to share this space with me. I see everybody here. I see you, Lauren. Thank you, Sean, Shanika, Monique, Lala. I see you, Sunny. I see you all the way from Canada. Martin here. I see you, Q. Bridget, all the way from Thailand. Q is in Hong Kong right now. Lauren is in the UK. Okay, I see you in here. Jazz, I see you. Danielle, Keita, Alethea, and Jazz, always from Oklahoma. Okay. All right, I see y'all in here. I just want to thank you for all sharing this space with me. Bella, I see you here too. Thank you guys for all y'all for sharing this space with me. It's again, I'm so humbled and just sharing so much gratitude. And yes, let's go, man. You speaker Tino, definitely appreciate your words. Tisha again, and Bushu. All right, let's go, Amina. Thank you for hosting this.
Thank you, Bradley. Thank you so much. Bradley, I've been able to witness this journey with you, birthing this book, from inception of the idea to having this incredible launch today. And I just want to take a moment and ask you, in terms of, this book, what inspired it? And can you just tell everyone a little bit about, what they're going to receive from this book?
Yeah, so this book was really inspired just from my own journey and my own struggles. And then I found out that a lot of people share similar struggles, right? So I just wanted to create a guide to help other people navigate their way through life. Because a lot of times we get stuck in this cycle and we get stuck in life. And even me, I was kind of feeling at a point where I was stuck in the cycle and I figured out how to navigate my way through it. So I just kind of wanted to share, a guide for everybody else to transform. That's what it's all about. It's just not about me. You talked about the philosophy, Ubuntu, and it's just like we all connected. We all connected. We all one. And once I really embodied that philosophy, it just changed the way I viewed the world and viewed everything. So I'm all about just connecting with everybody and just getting the best out of everybody. So in this book, the Iron Armor Paradox is, when I first started writing this book, I really thought I was going to write this self-help book, to be honest. I was like, I'm going to write this book and I'm going to teach people how to improve their confidence. I'm going to teach people how to find personal growth, right? And so when I first started writing it, as you know, I kind of was writing it in a way like other self-help books, but the book helped me do my own self-reflection. And I started going deeper in myself, and then it turned to the story. My story just started naturally coming out. And then once it started coming out, I just let it out, right? So, I used to be this person that kind of was isolated and hold everything in. And in this book, I just kind of once it started flowing, I filled it and I just let it flow. I didn't try to hold back. I just tried to let it flow out. And that's what happened. But this, the Iron Armor Paradox, this book is the concept of this book is basically that, we form this external protective barrier to protect us emotionally and mentally on the outside. Right. But and ironically, it causes more harm than it does protection. But the paradox is that when we built it to serve as protection from these external forces, right? Vulnerability, fear, judgment, self-doubt, limited beliefs, all of these things, society expectations, all of these things in the world. But what happened is we trap all our insecurities and everything in the inside, and we can't let them out. So in this book, I teach you how to dismantle that, how to knock that down, how to reforge this armor so that you can just really take off and just really, reach your potential. Because what happened in my journey is, because I had this armor, it was really restricting my growth. I really couldn't move like I wanted to move. I always knew that it was more to life, and I had these talents, but I just wasn't unleashing them. I just wasn't letting them out. So I had to get all of this armor, all of this weight that I was carrying. I had to get it off me so that I can be flexible enough to do as I please and move the way I want to move. And it just really it's about just having the courage. I know Tino talked about courage. It's really about having the courage to just face yourself, in the mirror, and then really look within and challenge everything that you ever believed, everything that you was ever told. You gotta be willing to challenge all of those things. And when you do that and be honest with yourself, then you can start to confront this armor and we can start to break it down.
Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you, Bradley. That was powerful. Okay, one thing that just stood out completely to me, every time you speak, it's golden, right? But one thing that you said is let it flow. And I want everyone just to type that into the chat box. Write that down, let it flow. There's so many times where we try and restrict ourselves, we try and move against the current. And when we let it flow, we get into this effortlessness. And that is what Bradley's speaking about when he's talking about his iron armor, knowing that actually you don't have to fight against this thing. You can use it as your tool. And this book is that navigation. So I just want to say thank you, Bradley, because that was a golden nugget. Like, he's already, every time he speaks, somebody needs to record, because something just be flowing. All right, he just flows. He's in flow, right? But it's because he allows himself to be the open channel. He's listening, not just to hear, right? Sometimes we're always listening to just hear what someone's saying, or listening so we can get our point across next. No, he's listening to understand. He's opening his heart to something higher, to say, okay, what does this person need? What's happening right now? How can I impact with my sacred breath? How can I stop and think about their iron armor? You know, sometimes we're so quick to just respond, but maybe in that moment, somebody just needs to be heard, right? Sometimes we all need to be heard. So I want to thank you, Bradley, for that. I know that you've been on so many adventures, because when we started this thing, you know, I thought the same thing. I was like, oh, it's just going to be another self-help, great. And there was just so much more. There's so many layers to you. And I just thought, what? Like, how? And then what? And then what happened? Like, oh, when you read this book, oh my God, like, he takes you on such a journey, to the point where I was literally in tears. Like, I cried, right? Don't tell nobody, but I cried. Okay. Just a little one just slipped. I was like, oh, okay, Bradley, you got me. You got me. You got me right there. But what I truly admire about you is your ability to be vulnerable. You know, and I want to ask you, what has helped you to, you know, overcome some of your iron armor to be vulnerable? Because we all want to be, you know, we all want to be loved, we want to be seen, we want to be appreciated, we want to be acknowledged. But sometimes we don't allow ourselves to be vulnerable enough to be open to receive. So how do you navigate through that?
Yeah, so for me, the first step for me to really starting to confront my armor was just kind of taking accountability for everything that was going on in my life. So, you know, I kind of was playing, I remember a time like I was just really playing the blame game at first. So I was kind of, and, you know, I was just blaming people that for, you know, where I was at currently in my life. And I just wasn't getting nowhere with that. Like, I was just, oh, this happened because of this person, this happened because of this person, or because they didn't do this, or because this person didn't support me. So then it was like this moment where I kind of just was like, all right, you know, from this day forward, like, I'm taking responsibility for everything that happened in my life. I don't care what nobody else did or what the effect it had, but I'm responsible for what's next. And once I really did that, that kind of started like catapulting me to look at things differently. Another thing was just looking at myself, like really kind of asking myself difficult questions, looking at myself and asking myself, what am I doing that's hindering my growth, right? Like, what am I doing that's in my own way? Or what can I do? What can I change in my life to get out of my own way? So going through like a lot of like introspection and reflection. And then it was really just having the courage to just do something different. Like, just thinking about that, I'm talking about like identity. So like, I feel like I had formed this identity that, because I talked about this a little yesterday, but one of my armors was just the game of football. Like, one of my armors that I really put on myself was the thing that I love more than anything in the world. But it became my identity. All I was Bradley, the football player. Like, everybody talked to me this way. Bradley, this is Bradley, oh, Bradley the football player. Bradley from here. This is B-Rad, whatever name they was giving me at the time. And it's like, that became who I was. And I couldn't get out that shell. So I had to confront that shell, had the courage to try something different. And then, you know, once I did that, and I finally kind of let go of that thing, because again, we're talking about you got to let go of things, right? I was trying to force this dream and force this idea. But one moment, I had the opportunity to go to South Africa, and I let go of this, and I started to flow, and I just flew into South Africa, literally. And when I went there, my life just started coming apart and then reforging, right? All my armor started shedding off. It was hard, but it just started coming off piece by piece, bit by bit. And then I started to kind of be more open and receptive to the world and to love. Another thing I did was just I got a lot of coaching, learning, like the NLP, learning to just, you know, reprogram the mind. Learning that I needed a support system. A lot of times I was doing everything by myself. I was the type of person, again, like I could just isolate everything and be like, I'm gonna figure it out. And sometimes I did, but it was just very hard. So I kind of like, you know, linked into finding a community of people who kind of done it before. So I like looking to coaching, and also just getting around the right type of people. And another very important thing was getting away from the environment and the people that kind of just, they wasn't going in the same direction I was going.
Oh, you can't stop there. Hold up.
Okay. Oh, I was like, what you got for me? I'm just saying it's a lot of things. Oh, yeah. I thought you wanted to ask another
Oh, that
question.
was good. Okay, so
Yeah,
let's go there. The people that are
okay, go
not
ahead.
good for us, right? It's like sugar. We all know we shouldn't have too much, but it tastes so good. So when we are in these environments where, you know, you're with people who maybe they have bad habits, they always speak negatively over themselves, or they have limiting beliefs, or, you know, you say a dream and they look at you sideways like, you're crazy, you're not going to be able to do that. How do you then, you know, use your armor in a positive way to say, actually, I'm gonna use this person in a way that I'm not going to allow them to influence me. I'm going to be the impact in this situation. How do you do that?
Yeah, so I think the first thing is just knowing who you are. Like, you really got to be authentic. In my book, I talk about authenticity a lot, but you got to be authentically you. Again, if we go into identity, a lot of times, like I talk about me, like when you growing up, like we always trying to fit in.
Yes.
And that's the problem. So when you always trying to fit into a circle, and especially being from Philly, I think we all suffer from this a lot, where, you know, we have these abandonment traumas. So then we find a group of people and we want to belong at a young age. We want to belong to something, and we want to fit in. But what happened is, like, sometimes we just got different paths in life. And again, you got to be, you know, have the courage, and you got to just know who your true self is to be able to step away from that and be able to acknowledge and see, like, this is not the path I wanted to take. You know, in my book, I talk a lot about, like, you know, just reflecting and being able to foresee. So, you know, being able to learn from other people's mistakes and what other people do. I had the experience to see a lot of things in my life, and I've seen, you know, how people in my block grew up and they just ended up sitting on the same steps my entire life. So what I would do is I kind of paid attention to people, habits, and behaviors and see where it took them at. So when I seen, you know, if people is doing X, Y, Z, this is the path they're gonna go. I don't want that path, so I didn't do that. So then I had to start to separate myself from those things. And part of separating myself was just doing things that other people that I was with wasn't doing. And one of the most simple things was just simply going to college, to be honest. Like, at the time, I didn't know anybody I didn't know anyone that ever went to college at that time. So just doing that already kind of separated me from those people and put me around different people. And then traveling around the world just amplified that so much, right? I started getting around more people when I started hearing different views and different philosophies, different perspectives from different cultures. And I just kind of, like, you know, took heed to that and poured all that in. And then I used that to make my decisions. And another thing you talked about was that's really been helping me is the sacred breath. It's just really something that I picked up on. I think I picked it up from being an athlete, to be honest. Like, I remember being in moments like, you know, one thing is being an athlete, you know, I learned the discipline, the resilience, and all these things. But I remember being in, like, these tense moments in a game where you need to get a touchdown or you need to get a stop, and your heart is racing and your emotions is all over the place. But being able to slow myself down and focus and slow the entire stadium down where I don't hear any noise. It's just me out there by myself, right? I use this same tool and I start incorporating this tool into my life. So what I would do in certain situations is I would just, you know, take my sacred breath, and just to give you a visualize what it looked like, I would take my sacred breath, and then I would allow my higher self to come out and look at the situation objectively from above and give me the right perspective on both sides. So, because sometimes, like, when you're in a situation, you're so attached to it. You can be so attached to a situation, you can be so attached to a person, and we have our biases. But if you can learn to, like, slow life down and let your sacred breath come out, you can let your higher self see it from a different view. Because sometimes all we need is a different perspective. And that's what changes a lot. You know, like, a lot of people, their perspective is just all they know. But if you can change it, then they might be able to see a different way to get out or to break free from their armor. And that's kind of what I did.
Wow. Thank you so much, Bradley. That was really, really powerful. I can see just the shift and just all the wisdom you've gleaned from, you know, your peers, the people around you, and how you've actually not just, like, heard it, because we can hear good things, but you've actually implemented it. It's one thing to have information, but to do the implementation, that's the hard part, right? So I want to thank you and recognize that actually you did the implementation, you did the harder part. You know, you're an author now, Bradley. What have you learned about yourself in this process? Because there was a lot of excavating, a lot of pulling out, and a lot of, you know, going deeper. But what has been the biggest lesson of this authorship journey for yourself?
There's been definitely a lot of learning and a lot of growth. So like, you know, as you said, a lot, and those who know me, like I get an idea and I'll just do it. And sometimes it's not always been worked out the right way, right? So like I'll just like be like, you know what, I want to make this or sell this, and I'll just make it. Like I'll literally just make it the next day, or and connect with the right person. Like, yo, I need this made, and I'll make it without kind of having a plan, right? And sometimes it worked out for me, sometimes it didn't. Like I did this with a lot of things. Like I'm just like, yo, even with Tino, I'm like, yo, this is what we need to do. Let's go do it. And I'll write up some stuff and send it to him. Yo, I need you to do this. Let's do this. And it's just done. I'm always like this. So some of the things that I really learned was just patient. Like with the book, I had to learn to really, really be patient, because, you know, when I'm trying to get my thoughts out and it just wasn't as perfect as I wanted to be, I was kind of getting a little bit discouraged. Because I wanted it to be done so quick and I wanted it to be perfect. So one of the things on this process I really learned from writing this book was to really be patient. And another thing is resilience. Like, again, you know, I've done a lot of the work, I've done other people, but those thoughts still seep in, that self-doubt, those limited beliefs, those negative thoughts, they still start to seep in when you starting to do something like this, writing a book. You know, you're writing a book, you're starting to say like, oh, like, did I say that right? Are people gonna like this? Like, oh, maybe I should say it in a different way. You know, all of these things. So just really, I learned to be more resilient, and I learned that I am a lot more resilient than I thought, because I was able to just get through the whole process. And then being vulnerable is something that I've been learning a lot more and more. And I'm still learning this, but during the book, because as I said, when I first started the idea of writing this book, I was just writing like, these are the steps you need to take. You know how you have those books and it's like, you know, 5 steps to success, or 5 steps to breaking free, right? And they all the same, like, right? It's all the same tools. They just written in different orders and they spin them off a little bit different. So kind of, for some reason, that's the book I thought I was going to write. But I knew that if I really wanted to connect with people, like, I had to share my story and be vulnerable enough to share some of my vices that people have and be relatable. So I definitely, it taught me to be, you know, vulnerable, and just have empathy for others too. Like, you know, coaching and then working with people, you hear a lot of stories, but also when I was writing this, it taught me to, you know, write in a way to help other people understand. Because I knew that other people were going through these similar struggles, but there's just I haven't found anything that really, you know, help us or show us how to get out of it. So I kind of was just trying to create something that works for everybody and from my experiences. And then the last thing I said is just being relatable, like being relatable to people, especially people from where I'm from, people of color, people from Philly who just stuck in this paradox. It's like we in this place and it's hard to get out. It seemed like it's hard to get out, right? We only can see like we got blinders on and we can't see fully. So I'm just learning to help people expand their view, expand their mind, so they can just live the life they want and really tap into that true potential. Like, all of us have so much potential to do whatever we want. We got these gifts, and we keep holding these gifts so tight to us and so close to us because of what everybody else is saying, what everybody else is doing. Everybody else telling us what we can do, what we shouldn't do. And if you believe that, I mean, you're gonna just remain in the same spot. So I'm here to tell you, like, and encourage you and show you how to, you know, be vulnerable, have the courage to stand up for yourself and do whatever it is that you believe you can do. Like, I can tell you this, like, I know that if you don't, you're gonna remain in the same spot. And that's for sure. That's the one thing I can tell you for sure. If you don't have the courage to do whatever it is you want to do, you're gonna remain in the same spot, right? If you let that fear sink in and stay in, I know where you're gonna be at. But if you decide to step up and push through that fear, get through that fear, right? If you decide to do something and no matter what anybody else is gonna think and you still do it, the possibilities are so endless. Like, I don't know where you're gonna end up at. Like, for me, I don't know how I ended up in China. I don't even know how I ended up as an author. Like, this would have never happened had I just not had the courage to do something different, to really just kind of step out of my own comfort zone, to shed my armor and just really believe in myself. Because when I try to do a lot of things, people was like, you shouldn't do that, or you can't do that. Like, that's literally people said to me when I wanted to go to China, when I wanted to go to South Africa, when I stopped playing football, when I decided to choose to go to South Africa rather than trying out at the combine. Like, people were just telling me I was crazy. Like, yo, what you did? You put all this work in and now you want to do something different? That's what we think. A lot of times we stuck in, you know, one career for so long and we're afraid to move on. But sometimes we got to, like, move on. But the only way you're gonna do this is you have the courage to confront your own beliefs. And that's something that I really did. I just really started questioning myself about every single thing. Like, is this true? Or why do I think this way? Or why do I see things this way? And then I challenged it. And then it led me to all of these different experiences, opportunity, and different people in my life.
Wow, thank you so much, Bradley. That is so powerful. You know, something that you've continued to teach me is about this internal narrative that we have. And that's what you're speaking about when you're saying about these limiting beliefs. And, you know, something that you said was about, you know, the breakthroughs that you've had. You know, there's so many people around us, or even just the people on this live. What would you say to someone who feels stuck? You know, I know you're a transformation expert, you're a breakthrough coach. Someone who's stuck, maybe it's in a relationship that doesn't serve them, maybe it's in an environment, maybe it's in a job that they've outgrown where they're not, you know, actually doing the things that they love, they're just doing something that they're getting paid for. What would you say to that person if you could just speak, you know, speak life into them and help them to navigate that paradox in their own armor to help them create that breakthrough?
So the first thing I would just say to everyone is that, like, you know, one of the best and greatest gifts you can have is the ability to know when it's time to let go and when it's time to move on. Like, again, a lot of times we get so attached to things, right? And then we're afraid to let them go. But you have to have the ability to know when something no longer serves you. But the only way you're gonna do this is by, like, really kind of looking within and asking yourself. Like, one of the ways I do is just journal. Like, you can write it out if you're a writer. I would write down, hey, like, what in this relationship no longer serves me, or does this job still serve me, right? And then answer honestly. Take some time. Like, the funny thing is about the subconscious mind, it's always speaking to us. So if you sit there and just ask yourself right now, like, you know, what am I doing right now that's hindering my relationship? Or does this relationship, how do I know this relationship no longer serves me? Like, a thought is definitely going to come up in your head. It's going to come up, but you got to be willing to listen to that thought. And after listening to that thought, you have to take immediate action. That's the thing that a lot of people, I think, don't do. Like, they know they're not supposed to be in that job. They know they're not supposed to be in that relationship, but they don't take the action. So what I would say is just, like, take immediate action and do something about it. Don't sit there and start second guessing yourself and talking yourself out of it. You talked about narrative just now. Like, that's what we all do. We always telling ourselves these stories. We create these stories, and then we start to believe these stories, and we start to live in these stories, and these stories become a part of our life. Like, you got the power to change the narrative. That's the message I'm going to give you. You have the power to change the narrative in your life, but you got to have the courage, and you got to be willing to do it. So just start telling yourself a different story. And then you will slowly start to, you know, shut off that armor and move with that armor. Another thing you can do is get some support. Talk to people, right? Share, like, especially right now, I'm just gonna talk just for me as men. Like, we always kind of, like, you know, holding stuff in. Like, we don't want to share anything out. We're trying to fix everything ourselves, but we need support. So get you some support, get around the right type of people, get you a mentor, get you a coach, you know, and every other aspect. When you work in, they hire you, you have people to help you train when you get in work. Why not get somebody to help you train your mind? Right? The mind is the thing that's controlling everything in your life. It's the one thing that's in control. It's determining your success, your failures, which how you deal with adversity. So if your mind is not right, your mind is not strong, then you won't be strong. So first, I would just tell you like this: to start in the mind, you got to change the narrative. You got to change the way you're speaking to yourself, the way you think about yourself, the way you see yourself. I think of sharing one more thing is that, you know, why don't we get results? We can talk about that. Like, why are you stuck and why don't you get results? And one of those things is it's because of your belief system. The most important thing is because of your belief system, the way your values and the way you see the world, right? Also, we got people that's always looking to get more and more knowledge and more skills, right? We'd be like, oh, once I get this, I'll learn. Once I get this certificate, I'll start this, right? No, you just start and just go do it now. That's the only way you're gonna get to it. No matter how many certificates you get, no matter how many things you get, you gotta start now. And then another thing is just changing your behaviors and changing your habits. Your habits and your behaviors, everything gotta be aligned. Everything has to be aligned to go in the same way, right? Your thoughts, your actions, your beliefs, they all have to be aligned in order for you to get where you want to get. So sometimes people, maybe their thought is aligned. Like you'd be like, I want this, right? I want to become this successful entrepreneur. I want to start my own business. But then your habits are not aligned. You're still doing the things that a business owner don't do, or that an entrepreneur don't do. So you got to like intertwine all of these things together if you want to get what you want to get. So that's where I would start.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. You got the chat box fired up. You got the chat box fired up. I can see Shanika said 100%. Tisha said that one hits, Brad. Jasmine said you're dropping gems this morning. Roger said everything has to be aligned. You know, Bradley, when you speak and you're allowing all this information, all this knowledge, this fire, come on now, to flow through you. I see Danica says start now. Like, you're activating other people to become aware and come into this knowingness of self. So, you know, I want to let you know that you have, you know, you spoke into all of our hearts today when you were answering that question about creating a breakthrough. You know, just from the comments in the chat box, I know I definitely got something out of that, but I can also see the impact that you have. And, you know, you don't just lead with yourself, you lead from a place of that servant leader. He's always asking, what can I give? How can I create? What impact am I trying to make? And, you know, that is something that I really do admire about you, because I can see the impact just in this virtual space. So I know that this book is going to truly impact so many more people. I'm going to put the links in the chat box again, because I know some people, y'all haven't shared online. Yeah, don't be selfish now. Come on. Look. Let's call a spade, okay? And share. Like, this book is not just about you. I want you to think about someone that you care about. Maybe it's your sister, maybe it's your partner, maybe it's your friend. What if you could help them? Right? Sometimes you hear people going through certain situations and problems, and because you're so close to the situation, you can't say what you want. But imagine being able to give them a tool, a gift that actually speaks to them without you having to have those hard, difficult conversations. So I want you to share. I want you to buy your copy. I want you to buy several copies for other people, and actually spread this message that this iron armor does not have to be, you know, the person that actually, you know, creates that resistance in your life. Yes, Roger, I love Roger. Oh, no, but he said review. Yep, Roger's my friend. Yes, thank you, Roger. 5 stars, please. Okay, because when you finish reading this book, it is going to be such a transformational shift for you. I just want to thank you, Bradley. I want to honor you in this moment. Thank you for the courage you've taken, you know, the love, the message that you've poured into this book. There's so much that has gone into it, you know, and I keep saying it there, this is not just a book, but this is a movement, and that there's so much more installed. You know, I'm just so excited, and I'm so honored to be able to walk side by side in this journey with you. So thank you for allowing me to do that as well.
Yes. And thank you for sharing this space with me. Thank you for supporting me and helping me get there. Thank you for staying on me and getting on me, and just actually making me really dive deep, and really helping me, you know, just continue to bring my true self, authentic self out in this book and in my words. So I really appreciate that, and I'm so grateful for that. Again, and thank everybody for just showing up today and being here. I really appreciate it. Yes, man, this is amazing. I can't wait. I know it's just the beginning. I'm looking forward to hearing, you know, what's your favorite chapter in the book. I know my favorite chapter. I won't tell you because I don't want to put any bias in you, but I've got an idea what chapter a lot of people will like. But yeah, so let me know what's your favorite chapter. You know, share on social media, share to all your friends and family. Let's just get this book out, man. It's a roadmap. It's literally just a roadmap to like navigating your armor and navigating through life. And we should be trying to share this, you know, with as many people as we can. Like, we're all one, we all connected. So let's connect with everyone. Let's get this out. I know I'm connected to people all over the world. So let's just get this book all over the world. And let's continue to make things happen. And I'm looking forward to you guys, really. I hope, you know, from this, someone's inspired, someone's encouraged to just, you know, step up and go for it. Whatever it is you want to do, like, step up and go for it and get it done. Right? I'm so big on energy, and I can feel energy. So I'm hoping that, you know, the energy in this virtual room is so impactful and so powerful that after this call, after this Zoom, y'all get out and y'all just go start whatever it is you want to go start. So yeah, yes, man. Thank you again, and I'm looking forward again to hearing you guys' reviews, and that's it.
Thank you so much, Bradley. I know that we have one more speaker in the house. I think he has just
Is he still
joined
here?
us. Yes, it is Bradley's mother, not Bradley's mother. Oh my gosh.
I got it. I got it. That's is Deshaun in here?
Deshaun Carter. Yes, he is.
Yeah. So Sean is yes, man. This is my brother from another mother. This is a teammate of mine. He was my teammate in high school. Yes, and we played both sides of the ball. We played on defense together, and we played safety and cornerback, and we always had a position where we just always had each other back, like even on the field. And then it just kind of went into our life, and we kind of just So Deshaun has seen every side of me, literally, like every single side of me from the beginning. So yes, let's see if Deshaun is here and ready to go. If he wants to.
Hi, Deshaun. I'm just going to ask you to unmute, King.
Hey guys, I'm sorry. I apologize for bear with me. I'm on vacation, so I'm still kind of moving around a little bit.
That's all right. You want us to come back to you?
I know you guys have been on here for a while, so I won't hold you guys up too long. But just to briefly talk about myself, what I do for a living, I'm a dean of students. I work at a middle school. Well, Simon Grass is a high school and a middle school now. Me and Bradley actually went here together. That's where we met each other, playing football together. So I work there now, which I kind of feel like, was a source of like giving back. That's what it feels like anyway, working in the same neighborhoods I grew up in, working with kids who sitting in the same seats I sat in, me and Bradley sat in. So that's what I do, just to give you a brief little introduction about myself. So I met Bradley some years back, and we kind of just like clicked like initially. We playing football. We both loved the game. I was a corner. He was a safety. So that's kind of like a connection right there. You got to communicate. You got to talk to each other. And we kind of just connected and bonded. We had a lot of things in common. I feel like it was kind of one of those things where it's like opposites attract, because Bradley was from West Philly, which I don't know how he ended up at Simon Grass, which is in North Philly. I don't know how kids do that, but usually you're supposed to go to your neighborhood school. He was from West Philly going to a North Philly school somehow. But thank God it happened, though, because if not, we would have never met. But just to give you a little background about our friendship, we stayed friends through college. I went to Cheney, he went to Lincoln. If you don't know, those are rivals. Just in case anybody was wondering, Cheney is the first HBCU. It's not Lincoln, all right? Just to let everybody know if you guys are wondering about that. But like I said, guys, I'm not going to hold you guys up too much longer. I wanted to briefly talk about just like getting out of your own way, right? Like, I know sometimes I was going to talk about, I see what you said too, Shanika. I wanted to talk about, it's something I call like the Philly complex, right? Where a lot of people, Bradley kind of touched on it a little bit as he was answering questions, whereas though like, I feel like if you're from Philly, and it might not just be Philadelphia, right? If you're from any inner city, I feel like we all probably kind of adopt this mentality where we feel like if it's not what we're used to, if it's not something we're familiar with, or if it's not something that, we deem as cool or in, we write it off, right? We write it off. We say it's corny, it's weird, or, it's just not what we used to. So we write it off like we do all things. A lot of people, whatever they don't understand, they say it's corny. They call it corny, it's weird. They don't like it. They don't want to do it, right? But what that really is, it's a negative mindset, right? You're standing in your own way, right? Because what you're doing is you're cutting off experiences, right? So if I meet somebody who doesn't look like me, or somebody I wouldn't usually talk to, it's not from my neighborhood or my area, typically in the inner city, we would say, oh, no, he's weird. I'm not going to talk to him, right? But you never know what that guy has to offer. You never know what that person has to offer or could bring to your life, right? Bradley talked about going to South Africa and how that changed him, and how he like let go of some of those things that we hold on to in the inner city. And I feel like a lot of people, we cling to the things that we are used to. So when we have opportunities to try new things or experience new people, we kind of like write it off, right? And we kind of hurt ourselves when we do that. So what I would suggest to you is always be open-minded, always be open-hearted, and always be willing to meet new people and try new things. Don't stand in your own way. Don't be one of those people who are limited by yourself, right? We got so many other things that's holding us back. We got family trauma, kid trauma, friend trauma. It's so many different things that we all go through. So I just want to leave you guys with that. Just don't be in your own way, and try to have that mindset, of that adaptive mindset of being able to being open to new things and experiencing new people. Oh, and how could I almost forget to tell my guy I'm proud of him? Most importantly, not because you're my friend, not because you're somebody I care about, somebody I love, but where we from, bro, people don't do stuff like this. Like, where we from, people don't write books. People don't go to China, go to South Africa. We don't even have the option to, like, that's not even a table for some kids like us, right? So being that you navigated the avenues and the waters to being able to get this far, I'm proud of you. I want to let you know. I know I tell you that all the time, especially since you've been home probably like 10 times. But I want to say it since I'm actually like looking at you. I'm proud of you, bro. I love you. Keep working, and really, you're really an inspiration, right? So don't forget that. Keep working.
Wow. Thank you so much, Deshaun. I'm so grateful for your energy, for just speaking through and sharing your, insights from your journey with Bradley. And honestly, it's such a privilege to just hold this space with each and every one of you, because, everyone you've heard from today has had, some journey with Bradley, or had some experience or some transformational moment, or just a pivotal point where they needed something, and Bradley was there. He was showing up, and he was being his authentic self so that he could help others. I want to open the floor to anyone now who wants to congratulate Bradley personally. Please feel free to just raise your hand, and I'll help unmute your mic. But really, this is a celebration. So Bradley, I've already told you several times, but congratulations. This book is a #1 Amazon bestseller, and today is just going to be the manifestation of that. Time is just catching up, because in my mind's eye, it's already done. It's already done. See, Roger, you said we have come from a spiritual place as well as a physical place. Yes, Roger, I feel like you got something to say. Anybody want to congratulate Bradley? Yes, Sonny, you can go, sir.
Bradley, I just want to congratulate you. We actually met, I believe, 4 or 5 years back in China. Can't really recall which year it was, but I remember we met. We were in SeaWorld. For people that don't know, this is Shenzhen, southern part of China. We just happened to meet each other at this spot. We kicked it. We got to know each other. We stayed in touch. We did a couple of things together. And then the whole situation with COVID happened, and then I returned back home. You managed to stick it out. You stayed there. You were grinding. You stayed grinding. I stayed grinding too, but I went back home. And that whole journey, I've been watching the process, and you doing different things in the fitness world. I'm big on fitness as well, so we connected on that level as well. I just want to congratulate you for taking the initiative and putting your foot down and saying, hey man, I want to get this done. So you got it done. I have that type of mentality as well, where when I think about things, I just try and get it done. And I think living in China helped that process along, I think, because in China, you see so many people, so many entrepreneurs coming out all around the world, and they're all trying to do something, even if you weren't even if you weren't an entrepreneur to begin with, when you see so many people, and when you're around so many people that are entrepreneurs and they're trying to create something, their idea, they're putting it out there, and they see the innovation, and they're constantly grinding, and they're telling you their story and what they've done and what they're trying to do. I think that kind of lights a fire in you, and it tells you that you can kind of do whatever you want to do. It's up to you. If you have a limited belief system, then it won't happen. But if you strive to, make something happen, it will happen eventually, even if it takes time and it takes patience. But if you continue to push forward, it will happen. And that's how you got this ebook done, and I appreciate you letting me know about the ebook, and I support you, and I'm definitely gonna purchase the book because I love to, support my brothers that, try and do something different that's not the norm. That you're going down a different path that usually people don't go down. So I definitely appreciate you shedding this wisdom, and and I appreciate you inviting me to, listen in and hearing your story. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sonny. Thank you. Bradley, you can unmute if you would like.
Yeah, hey man, Sonny, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate your words. Yes, man. Definitely. We also did a photo shoot together too. Sonny had these I don't know, he had some cell phone cases that was like holsters, like they was like gun holsters. And we did some photo shoots together and stuff like that. But yeah, man, thank you for your words, and hopefully we definitely link up again somewhere across the world.
Thank you so much. Does anyone else want to share? Otherwise, we will close it out. Oh, Lauren, come on now, Queen. I've been seeing your beautiful smile the whole time. Let me just ask to unmute you. There we go.
I just want to say a massive congratulations. Like, Bradley's been talking about this book for a while, and it's just amazing to see it come to fruition. Obviously, I've known Bradley for about 6 years now, and just watching his journey and his experiences, everyone that encounters him, he literally spreads light to, and I always tell him he's such a bright light. And what I'm most excited for is just the book coming out and the scale that is going to reach. Like, just, he already, everyone he encounters, but here you don't have to physically encounter these people. Like, we're all going to share it, people are going to share it, and it's going to be massive. So I'm just excited. I want to congratulate you and just thank you. And also just like all the beautiful things people have said today is just a testament to Bradley's character. And yeah, we're just so thankful to have Bradley in our lives.
Thank you so much, Queen.
All right, Lauren, thank you so much. Always got some kind and beautiful words for me, and I really appreciate that. And thank you for tapping in from the UK on that side. And definitely I'll see you when I get back to China.
Thank you so much, everyone. Yes, Queen, you can be. Is it Monique? Monique. So where are you? He said, can I be unmuted? Here you are.
Hi, everybody. I'm lying. I'm a big talker, but not a big public talker. But I guess I want to come on. I'm Bradley's cousin. And I feel like we come from a family where we don't actually get our flowers and give them to each other. We're so used to just we talk all the time to an extent. So we just bounce stuff off. And I guess I want to say Bradley is one of the biggest dreamers, but now it's he's a dreamer, but he's also an achiever. So he can take that title kind of off of his name because he's done so much, and just he's always impacted us, in general, we know who Brad is, but just for everybody and for, I won't say y'all, but just for the world to just see his stuff that's in that head of his, and it's a lot coming to fruition. It's really dope. It's really, really dope. And I say, we just don't hear in our family or in our circle, that we're proud of each other, because we know it's a love that we have, that we know that's just felt. But I guess I'll say, I'm very proud of you. And yeah, even in this present day, he just always, he's home right now. So what's happened to us, so what can you do more? Or so what's next for you? And you're shut up. But also just having that person who you just know he wants that for you, it's really dope, because we have a first person that we can call, or that you can always bounce ideas off of or talk to, and you take it for granted. But being able to see it, I said, he's the biggest dreamer turned achiever, and he's going to keep on doing stuff. So we're all proud of you. But I said, we don't hear it. So give me your flowers from us and everybody else. We love you. We're proud of you, and we're gonna send you back because we're gonna know you're going. That's all.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Mo. I love you so much. And thank you for sharing these words with me. And I know I definitely got to see you one more time before I go back next week. So I love you.
Thank you so much, Queen. Thank you. Devin, I can see that you're unmuted. Is there anything you'd like to share? Speak now or forever hold your peace. Okay, guys, I just want to say thank you to each and every one of you. I know that we have gone a little bit over time, but I'm grateful for sharing this sacred space, sharing this vision, and coming together in celebration for this new book. I have shared the links, in the chat box. Please share on social media, get your copy, post, repost Bradley, really get the message out there and help us to get to that #1 Amazon bestseller, because I know it's possible and I know that it's already done, but we just need your support to impact and really get us to that #1 position. So thank you so much, everyone. And yes, thank you for all being here. Bradley, is there anything you want to say before we close out?
Yeah, just again, thank you. Appreciate everybody being here again. And just again, it's just the beginning. This is just the beginning. There's a lot more things to come and a lot more success ahead for not just me, but for all of us in this room. So again, I'm greatly appreciate everybody and just thankful. So I just want to take the time to just practice gratitude and just, be grateful for you guys, just be grateful that, God gave me the strength, the wisdom, the knowledge to be able to do these things and to be able to share this space with all of you guys. So again, thank you. And I'll see all you guys soon and talk to you all soon.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Brad, wish I could have got here sooner, but I'm at work and I'm just happy for you.
All right, thanks, Big Dev. I appreciate that.
Thank you, everyone.
All right. See you guys. Talk to you soon.
Talk to you later. Have a good one.